put too much emphasis on things that are actually not that
That's
important
true.
to the men. And we're talking about provider energy men that actually want to marry you, not men that just want to hook up with you and be in a situationship with you.
Yeah.
Okay. So we were going through, it was actually really fun. You got to go back and watch this, watch our part
Yes.
one, where I was asking you a few different questions and you were rating it on a scale of 1 to 10 for the importance
Yes.
of the man.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I have a couple more and then stay with us because I'm going to also give you my magnetic feminine energy formula today on this video or podcast if you're listening to that. And this is going to help men just be completely obsessed with you. Okay.
And also, as we're going
Yeah.
through it, let us know what some of your ratings are as well. I
Yeah.
know I gave you guys my numbers, and trust me, this is from
Yeah.
a healthy masculine energy man's perspective who talks to
Yes.
hundreds of thousands of
Yeah.
men. But I want to hear what you have to say as well.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about, yes, this is part two. We were talking about BBLs, we were talking about finances, we were talking about breath,
Yes.
her
Yes.
hygiene.
Yes.
We're talking about her being triggered, her feminine energy. All of that is in the part one.
Yes.
Okay, so another question.
Okay.
How important is it to a man? Like, how much does it matter to a man, should I
Yes.
say, if if she's divorced?
Ah. If she's divorced,
Yeah, does that matter to a man?
and it does matter, and I'll give you my number. And
Okay.
what's important, similar to the relationship having kids, it's
Yeah.
similar on that front. If she's divorced, one thing a man wants to know is, why did you get divorced?
Okay.
Who initiated the divorce? All of those things matter when a man is looking at, do I want to be with a divorced mom? And if it's something that, what irreconcilable differences,
Yeah.
or was it something that happened?
Yeah.
That, was it infidelity? Was it something that's tangible? So a man really looks at that when he's
Mhm.
looking at your divorce. And if you're divorced multiple times, are you going through the same cycle of things? So
Mhm.
depending on the reasoning behind it,
Yeah.
a man makes his decision. But overall, if you're divorced, it's probably somewhere around, this is right in the middle, around a 4 or 5.
Okay.
Men factor it in for sure. But also, when you got divorced, did you get married young? What happened?
Yeah.
All of these factors, because a man isn't just going to say, okay, you're divorced. Okay, let's get married. No, we want to know why you got divorced. Because
Mhm.
even with us,
Yeah.
when you let me know that you were a widow,
Yeah.
then it was follow up questions after that.
Right.
So men want to know what they're getting themselves into, if you've done any healing, if you've done any work, or if it's like, okay, I got divorced 3 weeks ago, I'm getting ready. I mean, we see that. We see that
Yeah.
with so many women.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
even see it with some men. I got divorced recently, ready to get back into the dating scene. So
Yeah.
even the time elapsed in
Mhm.
between the divorce matters. So if you're jumping right back into a relationship, less than 6 months after you got an official divorce, or you've been separated for 2 years, got a divorce about a week ago, and you said, okay, I've been divorced for 2 years. No, it really matters to men. So men consider it, I'll say a 4 or 5, depending on exactly the circumstances behind it. But we see so many men and women
Yeah.
getting remarried.
Yeah.
Even my sister,
Yes.
my brother-in-law, like, this is normal, but it's just more questions that the man would have.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, so many women that we coach have
Yes.
gone through divorce.
Yes.
And the biggest thing, ladies, is have you done your healing?
Yes.
That's the really the biggest
Yes.
question is have you actually healed? That's what the man wants to know. So
Yep.
you're not repeating the same cycle. And likewise for the man.
Hmm.
So you were not divorced, but
Right.
you went through you were engaged,
Yes.
about to get married, planned
Yes.
a whole wedding, and then that ended.
Yes.
So for me, I had a lot of questions.
Exactly. Exactly.
I had a lot of questions about that. Why did you guys
Yes.
break up? How long has it
Yeah.
been? Have you what did you do for healing after that?
Exactly.
Does this person still have access to you?
Exactly.
Right? So these are questions I think is fair on both sides.
Hmm.
People want to know,
Hmm.
why did that
Yes.
happen? And the biggest thing is, are you going to repeat that same pattern?
Hmm.
So you really want to, for you as a woman, if you've gone through the divorce, there's no shame at
Mm-mm.
all. There's zero shame, but it's your responsibility to
Yes.
heal and get yourself ready for the next husband.
Yes.
And one thing that I coach my ladies on, because sometimes they're like, I don't know if I want to date, or marry a man that's been
Yeah.
divorced. And I'm like, I think potentially that's great
Yes.
because if he's done his healing, he has learned a
Yes.
lot. because divorce is devastating. A breakup, like an engagement
Yes.
breakup, is devastating. So if that person has actually learned from what they've been through,
Yes.
you come along now, you're going to reap the benefits of that. So that's how I looked at
Yeah.
it in your situations. Is like, okay, you went through that. That means that you have learned a lot
Yes.
about what to do and what not to do. And so I get to reap the benefits of that.
Yes.
So for you, that's a great thing
Yes.
if you've gone through that. So there's zero shame.
And for me as
Yeah.
well, with you being a
Yeah.
widow at the
Yeah.
time, it was good for me because
Yes.
you're potentially marrying someone who's already understanding
Yeah.
the life of a wife,
Yeah.
who's already in the wife mindset,
Mhm.
and the way that it ended, it was beyond your control. So it
Mhm.
wasn't like that you were
Yeah.
looking for a way out or
Right.
anything like that. So that gave me comfort. That allowed
Mhm.
me to relax
Mhm.
moving forward, knowing that you were a wife for 10
Mhm.
plus years
Yeah.
and this is something that was normal to you. And even having kids
Mhm.
for me helped because a lot of times for me, what I see a lot of women with kids, their life is a little slower. They're
Mm.
not doing as much.
Right.
They're not looking to go out as much because they have different responsibilities.
Mhm.
So for me, that was something that was a plus
Mhm.
when making a decision. Do I want to pursue you for marriage?
This is so good. So, ladies, no matter what you've been through, this works in your
Yes,
favor. Okay. So, zero shame, but use this time to prepare yourself for that guy.
definitely.
Okay. Did I ask? Oh, okay. Last but not least, how important is it that the woman's in shape
Oh, the woman's in shape.
in
That is,
all ages?
yes, it's so important that a woman is in shape because the first thing that catches our eye is you. You catch
Hmm.
our eye, right? How you look, how you present yourself. And men are thinking, like, okay, if she's this size now, whatever
Hmm.
size she is,
Yeah.
you have to give her 10, 15 pounds. She'll gain over the course of a relationship. What feels good to me? Like, if she's already not in shape,
Mm.
and she's not prioritizing this, now I'm looking like, okay, what level of discipline does she
Yeah.
have? And then if she potentially gets pregnant,
Yeah.
and she puts on pregnant woman weight, and I'm just, ladies, trust me, I'm telling you how men think.
Yeah.
If she puts on pregnant woman weight and is 40, 50 pounds, is she the type that's going to take it off? Or is she going the type that's going to hold on to it because
Hmm.
she doesn't have any type of history of staying in shape, working out? That's not a priority to her.
Mm.
So men are looking at not just where you are now, but how is she going to be in 10 years from now, in 20 years from now, when we've been married for so long,
Yeah.
and maybe she got comfortable, or does she prioritize it for herself? Is
Mm.
she someone who looks at her health as a priority, something she needs to take care of, something she needs to get in front of?
Hmm.
And for me, that was one of the contributing factors as well, knowing that you had a background in being a nurse and
Hmm.
wanted to take care of your body
Hmm.
throughout your life. I mean, of
Yeah.
course, we all have times where we gain 10 pounds here, whatever the case is.
Yeah.
We're not our high school weight, but a consistent pattern of you taking care of yourself, having the background of being a nurse, and looking at even your kids, they're super active,
Hmm.
being in sports. That allowed me to see that you were
Hmm.
able to take care of your body. So that's probably right up there at around an 8,
Hmm.
9 for a man. Men love curves,
Hmm.
but that's usually what they like looking at,
Yeah.
maybe situationships. A lot of times men would rather marry women that take care of their bodies,
Hmm.
and they may sleep around with women that have the bang bang, the BBLs, and all
Yeah.
of that. But men want women that are in shape. That's just how men are built.
That's so, so good. Okay,
Yes.
and I just think about all the women in your life as well, like your sisters and
Yeah.
stuff. They're all in shape.
Yeah.
Your brother married a woman in shape.
Yes.
Yeah, and yeah, this is just how it is. And
Yeah.
of course, this is in 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. His
Yes.
sister got married in her 50s, in
Yes.
her mid 50s. And we have women right now that are rotationally dating. They're in our programs and
Yes.
they're in their 60s. Okay, and they look good. Like I feel excited. I have hope because these women look
Yes.
so good in their 60s.
Yes.
Okay, I have one more for you, and then
Oh, yes.
we're gonna give you our magnetic feminine formula that makes men completely obsessed with you. Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay, so how important is it for a man who's looking for a wife?
Hmm.
How important is her relationship with God?
Her relationship with God. This is a great question.
Mm-hmm.
And I know yesterday in the FEA and Feminine
Mm,
Energy Academy,
yeah.
where we went live, had someone ask a similar question, but for a man, her relationship with God, and this is the man that I've talked to,
Yeah.
is really about an 8, I'll say.
Really?
Yeah, it's about
I thought it'd be higher.
it's about an 8 overall. Some men don't really lead with that,
That's true.
but the men that I've talked to, it's high, because the one thing a man is looking at is what's your ability to be able to be led. Do you
Mm.
have a source that's higher than you that you're willing to follow, or does every thought you think about, okay, is that truth? Okay, do you have a great relationship with your father, the men in your life? That's how we're looking at what type of relationship you have with God, because if you don't have good relationships with the people in your life, the men in your life, you probably have it's probably
Mm.
an area, and that's relationship, trusting, all of that, that you'll probably struggle in. So
Mm.
having that relationship with the divine is super important with men, and whatever God people follow, it's important as well that that you're following, that you have similar beliefs,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
that it's not that you're following one God, he's following another. No, not only that you follow the divine, but it's on the similar path. Both of us are following Christ. That's super important for men, because how you make your decisions
Mm-hmm.
is based on your core beliefs. And if your core belief is in
Yeah.
a God that I don't believe in, then we're going to go down different paths. How you raise your kids
Mm-hmm.
comes down to who you believe. So it's super important. I'll give it an 8 overall for most men, but most men, as far as morality, want to be on the same page with you. So morality wise, it's probably about a 10. But when you're talking about God, because everyone believes in what they believe in, it's
Mm-hmm.
probably at about an 8 for men when they're looking for their wife.
And I see Jamie has a really good question, but before we go to that, going back to this relationship with God, I will say, ladies, honestly, you become way more attracted to the masculine when you have a solid relationship with God,
Hmm.
even if they're not the same faith as you.
Yes.
And the reason why is because as a woman, in order for you to be really relaxed and trusting and in your soft feminine, is you have to be able to trust the masculine is going
Yes.
to provide for you.
Hmm.
So even before your husband comes along, when you have a solid relationship with God as your provider, your
Yes.
protector, you're naturally more relaxed. You're naturally more, you can surrender. You're not anxious and
Hmm.
stressed and uptight all the time because you have this really solid relationship with God. And the natural byproduct of that is you become very, very attractive
Yes.
to all men. Okay. So I'm not saying that you need to do it for that reason, but it's just something that I noticed. And it's the same with men. Men that have a solid relationship with God are
Yes.
way more attractive
Yes.
for women in general, even if they don't have the same belief
Yes.
system, because this is a man that has discipline.
Yep.
He's led by God. He has
Yep.
more moral compass.
Yes.
He's faithful. He's structured. He's just more trustworthy,
Hmm.
right? So overall, your relationship with God, I mean, number one, it has to be authentic and genuine, relationship with God,
Hmm.
but it does make you way more attractive to
Yes.
both sexes,
Yes.
in my experience.
No, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely on point. No, I saw a couple
Yeah.
of questions, but I know you wanted
Yeah.
to add to it, so you can
Yes.
ask that
Yes.
question.
Oh, but Jamie had a really good question, so I
Yeah,
didn't ask this
please.
one. Let's ask this one. How important is it to the man that the woman is wearing her own hair?
And you hear a lot of different stuff online,
Yeah.
listening to different podcasts.
Mhm.
But the reality is that a woman's wearing her own hair is probably at about a 4. It's not
Yes.
super important that she wears her own hair for most men. It is important that she looks good
Yeah.
in whatever she's doing. If she has a low haircut, if he likes that, most men like women that have long, flowy hair. So as long as it looks good, as
Mhm.
long as it's something that you're comfortable with, he's great. But as far as wearing a wig, most men don't. First off, most men don't know
Yeah.
if you're wearing
If
extensions.
you're doing it
Yeah.
properly, he's not even gonna know.
If you're doing extensions, if you're doing a wig,
Yeah.
most men don't know. Secondly, the men that do know don't care. It's
Mhm.
not important. Like, you can't
Mhm.
wear a wig. I don't, that's not what I like. And of course, it's always some men that
Yeah.
do, but the level of importance as far as them moving forward and wanting to marry you
Yeah.
is probably at about a 4, maybe a 3,
Mhm.
because men care about how you look more than how it takes to look that way. And I want to
Mm.
ask one more question
Okay.
too, because I hear this a lot. And the one thing as well that men And I'll put it on a scale of 1 to 10 as far as any type of Botox,